from down there because we've got to buy it from Jamie, and I don't have the knife to chop that shit up.
What?
Hey, just take the watermelon before it goes bad.
What?
What do you mean? You're not flattered?
What?
You're not flattered?
Of course.
Of course she is. He always.
Oh my
gets taken by
God,
him.
this is so black you can't see
I
her.
know, right? I don't even want to be on this now. It's dark as shit. You gotta turn that light on so they can actually see me.
They ain't gonna be able to see her, Kenny.
Yeah, that's fine.
Does that not work?
It does work.
But
I
yeah.
was hoping one of you guys would do it because you're closer.
Alright, which switch is it? Lazy ass.
The very first switch.
This one? Alright.
Oh no. So you technically got everything set up, right?
Still
Yeah,
look
everything should be
very-
good.
Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, wait a minute.
You just shot the light on me.
Let me illuminate the situation.
For the whole 30 minutes.
Watch out. I want to see if you can see her. Move,
There's 30
Kenny.
minutes of this.
Kenny, move.
Yes.
You know you're such a clown.
There you go. Right there. Oh, wait. Right there. No, wait.
Shadow.
Right there. Okay, yeah, I'm not doing this the whole 30 minutes.
It's fine. It's all about, at the end of the day, it's about the voices.
Yeah, that's extra. Recording the audio.
Yeah, this here is extra. The audio is what really counts.
Yeah, they say I was having fun over here.
I bet you were, Nish.
If you go up there and tickle the little balls, they drop the banner.
Tickle what little balls.
The little balls holding the
Don't
banners.
give her any ideas about tickling balls.
You can't reach it, you're not tall enough. Kenny, show her.
Hold on, where am I at?
Oh, there we go.
You didn't tickle the balls. You trying to slap
I'm
them
not
around.
tickling
Slapping around. Makes it rough.
He slap balls.
You're not supposed to slap the balls. You're supposed to tickle them.
Well, you know what? I'm not on the men, so that's
I
okay.
want some cookies or some like
Oh my gosh.
brownies
Shut
or
up.
cake or
I
something.
want some.
Brownies would be amazing.
You guys want some cookies?
Just the cookies, you have some Thin Mints. Hey, if you go get some Thin Mints, I'll take them all.
And you already flipped the shit on Facebook?
Yep.
Or Twitter, I mean?
Yep.
Alright, cool. So we'll just get into it.
Oh, shoot, we're live right now?
We've
Oh,
been
man.
live for almost
3
4
minutes.
minutes, so I feel like we're getting better at this.
What?
Usually it's about 10 minutes.
It's true.
Wait a minute.
It's all good. I hide behind Kenny the whole time.
So you didn't even watch him sometimes? Yeah. Fuck you.
No, you have the viewers and the messages on the sidebar over there underneath the picture.
You know what, before we sync that up, let me use the bathroom.
Alright, now we're gonna hit 10 minutes.
I'm not gonna be going that long.
We're so good on time,
God damn
Kenny.
it, Kenny. This is why we can't take you in those places.
If you want to scoot back here, you can.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
That you take a long time to that. Your hair looks nice straight though.
It's wet.
So? I'm sorry, your hair looks ugly now.
Thanks.
You can't take a goddamn compliment. What do you want?
Hey, you don't have any snacks? Oh my gosh, I have jelly filled crumpets.
Oh my.
Brandon, that means
What's the
that when you go to the bathroom, you take your phone with you, and you're in there for like 45 minutes because you're on Facebook. Seeing what the fuck's
We're
going on
listening to
Facebook.
those fucking videos. What
That
app is
shit
that?
too.
What app is that? My Music or something like that?
Look at you.
There's 3 albums
It is.
she's on.
Yeah.
It's the new Dub Smash.
Alright.
Yeah, because I think all I have is cheeses.
Sponsored by Powerade Zero.
Wait. Going? There we go. Alright.
What's up, everybody? Another episode of DSUG Underground.
Hey,
Bonus episode.
Bonus episode. You
Bonus
remember this
episode.
week.
I remember last week. Bonus
Doesn't matter.
episode.
Remember this week. It's all
Back
that
again.
matters.
You got Kenny. You got Rob. You got Colin from Uncommon Gaming. We got the wife. We got a special feature over here.
Wait a minute, we don't even have names?
No,
Quarter blind.
you're women. It doesn't count.
First off, I'm in all your fucking podcasts when you come here, so I have a name.
All right, Karina and Nish are with us here today. Here they are. Thank you.
Welcome.
So, as we do every week, here's your spoiler alert. We're going to be talking about Fear the Walking Dead Episode 5, which aired last Sunday night. We're also going to be talking about previous Fear the Walking Dead episodes and, of course, some of The Walking Dead. So if you are worried about spoilers from basically any of the Walking Dead universe, stop now, go watch, and then come back.
Yes.
So, let's dive right in. Episode 5, Cobalt.
A lot better, I thought, than the last episode. The episode 4 kind of slow and draggy, as we said, but this one seemed to kind of keep a more interesting pace to it.
There was no choice to it.
Yeah.
So
Well, and
it's got to pick up because they got to leave something for people to hang on to for season 2.
Right.
Same way Walking Dead had to.
Well, I think the problem last week was, the problem the last couple weeks were like getting to the point where things break down. Because I think everybody assumed that at the end of the season, all of this little cute stuff that we see is going to be done. But we got to get there. So let's fast forward 9 days.
And all the characters of the season thinks it's just gonna blow over.
Right.
And that's gonna be that.
All right. So here's where I want to start, though. Is it just me, or are the step siblings definitely going to get it on?
Yeah.
Yeah. Seriously.
We were
When she
going
was
back.
upstairs in the mirror, and she's like, and he's just like,
And he's watching.
No, it's the fact that he sees her up the stairs and then goes, "Oh my god, I need to like
it's
quill my
like,
half
I'm gonna
boner."
get that before the season's over with.
And when they were destroying the house, some of the looks that they were giving each other, I'm like, that is not appropriate. But I mean, keep in mind this: we dove right into this relationship, but they don't like each other. They never hang out. I mean, we think of them because we know Travis and we know all the characters. They're step siblings. They're not even step siblings, really.
But they both have figured out what's going on.
Right. And when
they're embracing certain things quicker than other people are, and
you get that end of the world horniness. Is that what it is? It's like,
Yeah,
listen, we
it's
only
the
got
end
so
of the
many
world
days.
It's the end of it.
you find a vagina, you hit it, and
So
then you gotta kill a couple zombies.
Am I wrong about that?
No.
Did you get that weird feeling too?
I most definitely think once we got to the
Yeah,
feathers flying through the air, they were like,
And that was the thing.
nice scene. This is a nice moment right here.
The look in the mirror was one thing. That was like, okay, I called it before that look. I was like, they're
It's
definitely
true.
getting it on.
Yeah.
But when they looked in the mirror, I was like, okay, that's weird. It was the looks while they were destroying stuff.
Yes.
That really, I was like, break a lamp, look at her. Is she smiling? Okay, she went forth.
Did you say something when he was sitting on the car and she was riding around on her bicycle, and then they went inside?
That is when I called.
Yeah, I mean that was, because that was like their first
I
moments
didn't even
together.
recognize her when she was riding around the bike. I thought it was a regular, another
Somebody else?
neighborhood kid.
Now,
At first.
I mean, maybe at first, because the bike threw me off a little bit, but as soon as I saw it was her and she was circling, I'm like, she's trying to get his attention, they're about to go do something fun, and they're about to do something really, really fun. That's what's about to happen.
Although they didn't get that far, there's always next.
Well, when
Episode.
did we last see them? Get the glass.
Oh.
When did we last see them? They're in the house tearing stuff up.
Yep.
No,
So-
they walk home.
Did they?
Mm-hmm.
Did I miss that? Okay.
Yeah, 'cause
so now
well,
they're
no-
going to get it on in their own bed.
Yeah, because we didn't see him again until nighttime, and the Humvee passed them.
Oh, that's right.
So it was. I mean, if they were outside
trying to
circling.
get home.
Yeah. Well, I know they
And
do
that's
this.
when he was like, they're not patrolling.
Right, because
So-
they shine the light right on them,
Yeah.
and it just keeps going. But that ties into the next point, which is we saw earlier that it looks like all of the military people are kind of giving up. And I mean, there is a reason. Something we talked about episode 1, episode 2 was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's driving.
I'm driving.
Both drive?
No, I
No.
just wrote that. Anyway, so no.
Come on, one shot.
I don't do drunk. So, but what we saw was that as soon as the lieutenant or the sergeant or whatever he was, whenever he left, then everybody was like, oh, fuck this.
Yeah.
Now, what did you guys say? Now I'm on mission, find these people.
Yeah.
And ready to go.
Go the fuck back home.
But we saw in Walking Dead, there was no organized military units.
Nope.
So I think the good thing is that's going to be the preview. The preview of this is why don't we see the military Well, because they just all said, fuck it, my people are more important.
The only time we saw the military in The Walking Dead was when the governor made a meeting.
They were
with,
military people.
But they
Yeah.
were all
You know
dressed
that-
up like that.
Well, no,
You know that.
Well, no, here's the thing. I think some of them probably were ex-military members, but keep in mind, that's 2 years later. So the guy that we see in the front seat of the Humvee goes and finds that his family's already dead.
Yeah.
Or already zombies. So now he's like, well, fuck. What is the one thing that we see from The Walking Dead? It's all about skill sets. Survival's about skill sets. If I'm Abram, that's what he did. He wanted to find somebody to protect.
And if it wasn't for, sadly enough, Eugene.
Right. He would. I mean, he probably would.
He would have ended himself.
Right.
Yeah.
But Eugene gave him that reason to continue on, and now they got this group. He joined this group.
Right. And so the governor keeps. There's a trade-off. I mean, it's just like the real military. The governor says, "Here's a house. You don't have to find your own food. We'll bring you food. Your skill set is being in the military,
Yeah.
and so we're gonna have you keep doing that." And I got to say that that's the only military units we see are probably not real. I also think some of the people there were just straight up criminals who were good shots
Yeah.
and had those kind of skills, and they're like, throw in some camouflage. You're in the army now, you know. So, but
Claimed.
yeah, I was gonna say, but
like Anne to be on the wall.
right. But we see, we do see like the military starts to fall apart. They're not patrolling, but I mean the title of the episode is Cobalt, and the other
Which-
thing we know.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Little fun fact. That's what the original title for the series was.
Cobalt.
Yep.
I didn't know that. Okay.
That's
Yeah.
originally what it was called, because they hadn't came up with a title yet. So the fact that they incorporated that into a title for an episode
Yeah.
shows a lot.
Well, and I think that the whole sense of this little season, six episode stretch, was getting to Cobalt, getting to the point where they say, well,
Like, what's the big military operation going on in the background?
Right.
Really? You know,
So
that's
what
what
we
it's gotta
do
be.
when both episodes get to the point that it's all zombies all the time.
I don't think that they're going to get there, because what we're going to see, what we've seen from The Walking Dead thus far, is that when these things happen, they move. Something happens, they move. Same thing's going to happen here. Well,
Do you think
the last-
they'll move, or do you think they'll try to stay?
no, they're going to move. The last moment of this episode was Granddad.
We're jumping ahead.
Well, no, but I mean, just working our way to different places. Was
Yeah.
Granddad standing on the steps of the Forum?
Yeah.
And I said before, I think he's gonna say we need a distraction so we can get out. Here's our distraction. Let out. What did the guy say? 2,000 people.
Yeah. It
So
was
there's 2,000
crazy.
zombies now.
Yeah.
In that building. Let them all out.
Yeah, keep talking.
But there was,
Just let them all out.
Yeah.
And cause a distraction.
because I mean, that's what he said last time. It's just like, you know, the zombies are just free range in the ballpark. You know,
Right.
there's just no organization. They're just going to shove them all in there, and then they're going to wait until
Hang on, let's pause right there. Yeah, I think you probably just have to plug it in. Is it good?
yeah.
Okay.
Alright,
Alright,
but for the arena, as we said, I mean, it's just like one of those classic zombie things where there's just a wide open area, so like a mall and
Yep.
you know any of the Dawn of the Dead, you know, and then they just crowd around. But yeah, that's what in this series we just see like the herd of zombies come in, and then like half the people in the party die,
Yeah.
and then they just move on to the next place. And
So
they replace those people.
And I was gonna say the Walking Dead, The Walking Dead does that, and I think that that's just even in I mean, if we want to call it reality, that's how it would have to be. Is that you're safe only as long as you're safe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Give me that.
Okay.
Before we get screwed up again. Continue.
So-
No, we're good. We're good.
Because it
Your banners are.
It already did it?
Yeah,
Son
it
of a
is. But
bitch
it's still
nuggets.
recording.
I can fix that from the phone. We're good.
Okay.
Just keep talking.
So, but I think that if you want to treat it like a real world, that's what you have to do. You're only safe as long as you're safe. Now, they've been safe in this little neighborhood for 2 weeks,
Yeah,
maybe?
something like that.
And-
At least 9 days.
And,
At least 9 days.
at least 9 days.
At least 9 days. On the 9th day.
Well, no, it's got to be at least 14, because the days before and then them are. It's obviously not the same day. 'Cause
Yeah.
At night is when Travis sees them shoot. But I think that you're only safe until you're safe. They've been safe in this neighborhood, and now to get out, they have two. And I mean, I guess one of the themes of The Walking Dead too is not only do we have to fear the zombies, we have to fear the people.
Yeah, the people are usually those are usually the worst parts about zombie media. Is the people. The only thing I think Left 4 Dead, where the main, you don't interact with basically anybody else except people in safe houses, or they're flying the chopper to get you out of there.
The non-player characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that's the only, in Left 4 Dead, but in The Walking Dead, their games, I'm thinking a lot of like DayZ.
Yeah.
The Arma mod, it's you fear the players more than you fear the zombies in there.
And I gotta say that, I mean, that was the lesson we learned from The Walking Dead. I think that's gonna continue in, and we'll wait and see what exactly comes of all of that, because do we have to fear the army? Half of me says no, because we see them kind of saying like, I'm bailing out, it doesn't matter, I'm done. And then the other half of me says, the superiors are gonna be like, you have orders, do it.
Mm-hmm.
And we knew that there were live people in the building, out in the DZ, but they went out there and shot them anyway. So, I mean, I don't know that.
Once again, to quote Morse code by gunfire.
Right. Yeah. But all right, so a little more about the army is we saw one of the stupidest soldiers I have ever seen portrayed, who is thinking way more with his dick than he is thinking with his brain.
Although I do have to say,
So is this a rap type?
No, because Rob in the zombie. First of all, Rob wouldn't be in the army, but Rob in the zombie apartment.
That's not what we're talking about.
But what he's getting to is, he's just gonna get himself captured by these people. I mean, I think it's interesting that the sergeant tried to use, this relationship against him, which seemed like it was in secret in the last episode. So apparently it got out between
Stop funny, Karina.
the previous episode and this episode.
Yeah.
Because the last time we saw them together was in the back of the Humvee, and he's not calling in his patrol.
See, but I don't think that everybody knows. I think that moment is when they started to suspect that there was something else going on. And he gave it away himself because he's a dummy. And he said, hey, look at me. I care for this person. Because everybody else, their mentality of everybody else is like, fuck them, just kill them.
Yeah.
They're doing snatch and grabs.
So you're saying in that moment, the sergeant figured out that they're dating?
I think he figured out that, like, well, listen, anybody who's been in a war zone, maybe not so much modern, but in pre-modern, I think there's a sense, especially in movies, that soldiers are gonna have relationships with the locals, and they call them the natives. They don't call them people. They're like you're out here with the natives. So I think that there's a mentality that like, oh, this dude's just getting his rocks off. Let's let him go do that, because they could have shot him, but they didn't shoot him. They just let him go.
Yeah.
Before I go do this, were you surprised by what's his name? The Mexican father?
Oh,
Daniel.
Daniel torturing.
Were you surprised by the torturing?
No, absolutely not.
0%.
Not at all?
No.
Explain that, I'll be right back.
So have you seen any of the previous episodes?
Yes.
So when he's talking about what he went to El Salvador, I'm like, that dude did some fucked up shit.
Yeah.
He is ready. He knows what he's doing.
I
And
most definitely knew. I had a feeling that once she got him inside the gate, it was a wrap.
that was going to be...
It was over.
Well, and so what we saw this episode isn't that he's dead. He got the shit tortured out of him.
But it was really only his arm,
It was just his arm.
and Daniel seemed to be taking care of basically any of the wounds that did pop up.
Well, so here's what the one tool that you need to know about torture is: it's a mixture of pain and love. It's you cause pain on a person, and then you say, "Listen, I don't want to do this to you."
We're gonna test your theory.
Yeah,
that torture doesn't work.
All you have to do is to tell me what I want to know, and this can stop. I don't want to do this. Look at me caring for your wounds. So now you need to tell me about it. And then when he didn't say anything, then he was like, flip. All right, so now we got to go for round 2.
Do you think he felt bad after his daughter walked in and seen what happened?
No. You gotta do what you gotta do.
The only thing that was actually it upset him was the fact that he didn't tell her which man he was.
Right, but I think though that we said this from the second episode, I think. that Daniel is the guy who's gonna do what has to be done, and I think that he.
Not time to be owing anybody any favors.
He wanted.
Right.
I think he just wanted to keep him
He didn't want
as
her to know that,
innocent
like,
in his daughter's
He wants
eyes.
to find his wife.
Well, I mean, I gotta say that I think it's a lot of stuff that we see in mobster and gang stuff too, where it's like there's a little disappointment when the people you love figure out who you are, but
They try to keep their kids out of it up
Right.
until the age where it's necessary that they have to be a part of it.
but I'm gonna do what needs to be done. She needs to understand, and I think that in a way, the emotion at the end was a mixture of relief that he doesn't have to hide it anymore. I think that she can walk away from that saying, "My dad will do whatever it takes."
I like
I
how
think there's gonna be. I think he's gonna have a moment where it's like, still kind of horrified because that is technically now her boyfriend that her father is torturing.
But she
I
brought him in there.
I
But
like
then-
how the wife, when the wife went into shock,
Yeah.
or well, they said she went into shock. She wasn't in shock. She was telling her story,
Yeah.
Yes.
and she called her husband the devil.
I've seen you
But
have two
as
faces.
us as watchers, we're the only ones that know that. The characters don't know that because nobody that was in the room.
Right.
Well,
Understood
now
what the fuck
everybody
you're
with
saying.
It's
Daniel
true.
knows that.
That's true. I mean,
Yeah.
because her name escapes me. Mom walks in on him, and again, the other character who I said
Madison?
will do Madison. She will do whatever it takes for her family because she walks in and she sees everything, and he like looks like a little embarrassed that he got caught, and she's just
Yeah.
like, "Did we find out anything?"
Well, no, because Madison walks in, she sees Ophelia go through the kitchen door, and
Right.
then Daniel comes out of the basement, and then their conversation is in the kitchen.
Right.
And I think Madison just kind of looks down the door, kind of realizes what might be going on, and goes, "What did he tell us?"
Right, and I mean, but that's two characters who will say, "I will do whatever it takes for my family," and Madison's even like, "Okay, well, now that it's done, I didn't have to do it.
Yeah.
That's good." But the other side of that is Travis, who has turned into just what I said, the biggest bitch in the whole show.
Yeah.
They fucked up his head entirely.
You know what?
Oh, the guys in the
The
Jeep.
guys in the
So I will say.
And this is where we come to this part. Because you mentioned that the Barrett 50 cal sniper rifle was highly overneeded for that situation.
Okay,
No.
we'll
I said
talk.
it
We'll talk
twice
about.
I'm sorry, I said it twice last night, and I'm gonna say it again now.
I'm sorry, the Mamba, Sarah.
The Mamba. Get the
You
Mamba.
can call it the Mamba if you want, but we all know it's a Barrett 50 cal.
Actually, we'll
sniper
get to that
rifle.
later because he noticed something about the shot. But
Right.
I still think Chris was much bigger of a bitch at the beginning of this episode. His first couple lines, it was total cringe. With just like, why?
Yo, he's,
God damn it.
he's about to fuck his sister, though, so I'm okay with that.
But yeah, I see. But like,
Not his sister.
Whatever.
Stepsister.
Princess.
And that's why you're okay with it.
Technically, they're not even married because he said
okay.
it's my girlfriend's residence, so
Right,
there's
right.
no relation
There's
there
no
at all.
relation.
But all I'm saying is that Travis bitched out on fucking his wife, and Chris is the only one getting laid. He's the only one thinking with the right
eventually.
head. Well, eventually,
Not,
theoretically.
technically, it hasn't happened
I'm
yet.
sorry, but the way they looked at each other
It's
at the end of that scene,
It's gonna happen.
and then all of a sudden they appear at nighttime. That look was
It's
a
true.
lot of
Dressed
sparks
in their
there.
street clothes when they had changed into
Right.
her evening gown, and he was in like
Yes,
a
he
tux
was
and
in
a
a tux.
suit.
So we might
So
find
they
out.
had to undress at
Right.
some point.
But so Travis though got fucked with by Murphy and his crew.
Uh-huh.
The thing that I think is going to be the determining factor in probably season 2 or the other half of season 1 will be Travis still thinks they're human, and Murphy just calls him out on it.
And I
It's like
think-
Herschel
I think
putting
that's
all
why
in the
he
bars.
didn't-
Yeah.
I think that's why he didn't shoot the chick.
The
Look
thing
at
that
this
pisses me off is they told him to stay in the Humvee, but
At the
did he
end.
listen?
Yeah,
No.
but at the
Did-
end,
Did
when
Carl ever listen?
See, but that tells me that Travis might be the first to die then. He's a bitch and he thinks
I
they're
don't know.
humans, and he doesn't listen to people.
Because Carl never listened, and between season 1 and season 3, how many times did we expect him to fucking die?
But Carl is a special case because he was a kid, and I think part of the story they want to tell is what it's like growing up in that world. And we get to see Carl go from who he was to like kind of a badass calling out zombies.
Finishing the second book. So book spoilers.
Yes.
If anyone doesn't hear the book spoilers.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I got to the Alexandria battle.
Yes.
And that was a page turn.
no.
Whoa!
Exactly. No, this ain't gonna ruin anything for you.
Yeah, it's for season. That's season 6. The Battle of Alexandria, season 6.
All right, I'll go prior to Alexandria.
Okay.
The prison battle that you see on TV was different in the comic.
Yes.
I'm sure.
It was
there's
different.
a lot of difference.
Lori was attempting to run away.
Okay, book spoilers. Book spoilers.
No, don't refer
spoilers.
To the book. Don't refer to the book because you're gonna spoil it.
I accidentally sent this to somebody.
No, because this doesn't spoil anything.
It does. It really does.
No,
spoil
it doesn't.
Don't go to the. All right, so back to
No, hold on, wait.
Kenny, this spoiled. I sent this to somebody who also watches The Walking Dead, and they just went, "Stop!
Yes.
No."
Because it's a spoiler.
It was even farther. She was reading the books.
It's season 1. It's the first episode of season 6. What year to the Battle of Alexandria is episode 1.
I'm not going to mention Alexandria. This goes back to the prison.
Okay.
He's gonna say it. You're gonna say it.
Came through.
Okay.
You remember what happened in the TV show?
Yeah. No. Yes, in the TV show. Stick to the TV show.
In the comic books, what happened? Lori was trying to run away.
You're gonna say it, man!
No!
Yes, you are!
No,
how about we just fucking skip it? Because it's not.
No!
Yes!
Kenny, just drop it!
No, Kenny, actually drop it!
Because if it's
you said
spoiler,
2
I'm
things.
gonna punch you in the face if you spoil.
You actually said 2 things that could, if he figures it out, he could put 2 and 2 together.
Yes.
Well, from what you actually said.
And
I'm the smartest person in the room, so I will put it together.
Hey,
so back to
no, actually, probably.
Negative.
Back to
hold on.
Wait. Back
we
to
all know the baby's alive.
Wait, back to Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah, let's
please.
get back to Fear the Walking
What
Dead.
the hell do you think I'm about to say?
No, because that in and of itself, I don't even want to know.
Hold on. No. What do you think I'm about to say?
I know exactly what you're about to say. Because
Let's
of the
go
order
back
of the words.
to Fear the Walking Dead.
Fear the Walking Dead.
So Travis
is probably going to be the first to be bitten and die.
He's a bit of a bitch. He doesn't want to shoot.
I'm changing my vote.
He's alive. But he also...
You're going to read these fucking books.
No, I'm not reading the second one.
Reading the fucking
He's
books.
going to read them after he's done the whole show.
No. After I see the first part of season 6, we're at the end of the book.
Mm-hmm.
I'll read the second compilation, and then I'll see the other perspective.
Have you read the first one?
No.
Because you brought it back to me just like you were done.
Well, he said that he was gonna finish
the show first.
Yeah. So
but then he wouldn't believe me that the first book took place before even.
No, I figured that it would based on how things work, but still, nonetheless. So Travis is probably the first one to die.
This is why we do these podcasts.
Here's my point, though. This is what Colin was referring to. That was not a 50 caliber.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a 50 caliber, but one, you shot at 300 yards.
Yeah.
Did the zoom go that well at 300 yards?
It was not that good.
Not that you could read somebody's name tag off there?
No way.
If you shot somebody with a Barrett 50 cal, it wouldn't...
There would not be a small hole.
That head would have been fucking exploded.
Well, actually, here's the thing. When I did on Wednesday evening, I shot a 50 cal bolt action, not an M82 that they were shooting. I don't know what the actual rifle designation was on it.
It was the original bolt action 50 cal sniper rifle.
No, the one that they had was the semi-automatic variety. That's the M82.
It's still a 50 cal bullet.
It is.
But
it's supposed to be.
I was shooting at a bowling pin, and I still have the bowling pin at the apartment sitting in my window. But out of 10 shots, we hit it I think 6 times over the course of our shots, and none of the holes really looked like when I thought I would shoot the bowling pin, I thought it would literally disintegrate on the impact of the bullet. And then I looked at it more and I was like, wait, as soon as the bullet hits it, the bowling pin's going to fall over and increase the time that the bullet has to hit it and reduce the damage that it does.
It's all about density, because the bullet was all the way through by the time the...
There's a lot of non-exit marks. We shook the bullet pin a couple times and lead came out.
Alright, but that means it's shearing off, because what I'm telling you is this: if you shoot a human being with a 50 caliber from any, well, maybe not 300 yards, but if you let it get some travel, if you don't have to hit them. If I was to get a close call on the side of your face, it will rip the skin off of your face because the velocity that's coming at.
Gravity.
Well, and so what happens is if it penetrates the bowling pin, the lead will shear off. But nonetheless,
bitch.
the other thing that you notice when you shot it though is that you were sitting on a wooden table.
Yeah, this is the other thing.
And the table rocks back, and so do you, because the table's absorbing some of the force. On top of a metal hood of a Jeep, that thing would have given him a black eye.
Yeah,
he was down at the scope.
See, that was the other thing that I noticed was he was like right next to the scope. He was like, "Oh my god, he's gonna put his eye out if he actually
That's
shoots."
what I thought, because he
even
had
the commander.
At one point, he had Travis had his eye right on the fucking scope.
Yeah.
And see, when
he
I
would
was
have pulled that trigger and fucking knocked himself out.
He would have probably given himself a zombie death blow by the scope through
and
the
there's
eye.
and there's a sweet spot that I noticed because I was a good 2-3 inches back from the scope.
Yeah.
Not because that was like where I should put my face. It's where the scope actually you could see through the scope in focus. The whole crosshair, the whole thing of crosshair.
If you get too close, it gets blurry. It's set so you know where to sit back.
Yeah.
If you sit back, you'll be able to see through it. The other thing is, if you're a real sniper, you keep your other eye open, so you can see downrange with one eye and through the scope with the other, and it helps you get a good balance. But so we talked about Travis, we talked about the kids, we talked about Mom and Daniel. Let's talk about real quick before we go. Going downstairs. Downstairs at the beginning of the episode is kind of like a dreadful thing because we don't know what's going on. But what is the guy's name? The neighbor?
Travis.
No. The other guy who got taken. He gets disappeared. Doug. Where the
well, we're skipping right over the entire fact with the black guy.
Oh,
in the cage with Ned.
Well, no, but that first.
Are you talking?
First, Doug gets fucked with by the salesman.
Yeah. Jesus Christ! It's like that's gonna drop a character on us.
And if you want to know what Rob would be like in the zombie apocalypse, the salesman is what Rob would be like.
So you're the black guy.
Absolutely.
You have
100%.
2 giant diamond earrings.
Maybe not that, but
These weren't earrings, they were cufflinks.
I'm sorry, cufflinks, but that watch was nice as well.
The watch was very nice. But what it is he is looking for allies. What we find out by the end when he talks to Nick is
he has the key.
He's got the key. He's going to make an escape. He needs people he can count on. That was a test for Doug.
Yeah.
It was, I need people in here who are going to be willing to stick with me and get out. You are not it. You're a bit of a bitch. I need to get rid of you. He makes him snap. They take him downstairs. And what we find out from the ex-wife is that downstairs is not a good place to go.
Hell no.
There was that you go through the door and then there's just a pile of body parts in a big bin.
Hey man, at least they execute you cleanly.
And when it went through the first time, when she looks down the hallway and sees the guy turning up the gas, I'm like, I wonder what that could be. But we find out it's the cattle euthanizer.
Yeah, because the first time I seen it, I was like, they're about to blow.
I have to say, you were absolutely giddy about how it actually works. You're like, oh, that was really cool.
I've seen a meme online that's like 2 kind of people watching horror movies, and in the top panel it's like a person who's like, oh my god, tell me when it's over. And then it's Nick Cage like, put it in his eye!
I posted that shit. You commented on it.
That is totally me.
That's me too.
When I saw them get out the cattle euthanizer, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be good. I was just hoping that Griselda would turn in that one moment while she's hesitating, that you see the eyes just go, and then she hits her.
Yeah, you did. The soldier boyfriend did say that he had seen all the people in the arena turn a lot faster than previously. So, I was a little bit hoping for it as well, because we at least get some actual into zombie then dead action.
I want to know why at the end when he walks up to the arena, like the doors aren't moving and shit, but then all of a sudden when he's standing there, that's when the doors start.
Because they can smell it.
They can smell him.
Yeah, because you got to think that when we see zombies in any of these episodes, they kind of
any movie.
Well, but specifically this universe, they're doing their own thing. And then when they notice you, that's when they're like, everybody turns and comes at you.
And the smell is very important also because of the rubbing zombie parts on yourself. And
so he's walking up the stairs, he gets closer and closer, and then all of a sudden, whoa, 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 and the doors are moving because they can smell him. And the most important thing that came from that, though, is that if the kid is telling the truth about that, then he's got to be telling the truth about Cobalt.
That's what she was
And from that, we know that the order's going to go out at 9 a.m. Whether or not anybody will do it, who knows? But that kill all the survivors and get the fuck out.
I don't think they're going to kill the survivors. They're just going to...
No.
If they killed the survivors, then they wouldn't have a show.
I know, but it's all
That's
about
my
them.
point.
It's all about them getting out in a way. Yeah, I mean, like, listen, if you told me that there was going to be a war between the town members and the guys in the prison, I'd be like, why would you do that? You're going to kill off all the people.
Yeah.
But people have to die, and we move on.
It's the Half-Life situation I was talking about, 1999 Half-Life, where a bunch of scientists in the research facility, basically aliens come through.
Yeah.
You fight your way out, and then as you get to the top, the military is coming in to kill all the scientists. That's
Just make sure it doesn't get
that
them.
was their orders to go and kill all the scientists. So I wouldn't be surprised if their order, their order is to go and kill the civilians first,
Right.
the survivors, and then just leave it.
But I think that there is going to be a little bit of a test about, we've already seen a little bit of the military not following orders. It was the same guy who ended up rolling out, but
Yeah.
I think that there's some dissension. And what I said is I think that Daniel's going to realize we need a distraction so that we can
Are you
get out
talking
alive.
about the dude that got punched in the face?
Yeah.
He wasn't the one that was rolling out. He's the one that died when they went in the library.
Well, but we see some dissension amongst
Yeah.
them, but they're all rolling out already. They're not even taking Travis back. They're going to drop him off and let him walk. But Daniel knows everybody's going to die tomorrow morning at 9. The only way we can get that out is if the military's not around. I think he opens the door, releases the zombies, and then causes a distraction so they can all leave. That's got to be the way they go.
Alright, so in there... Because we got to get ready to get set up for the next one. So,
Yeah.
Updated list for who thinks the first to die outside of the mother.
Right, and I think Colin put it best. We got to put an asterisk next to Griselda.
Yeah.
She was injured, she didn't turn, she died, but I don't think it counts. It's not
I don't
really
think it
counts.
counts.
It's turned to zombie, and then that player or that character
So-
zombie bites somebody.
Who's going to be the first one to die that turns and tries to bite somebody?
I'm changing my vote to Travis.
I actually just had an interesting thought as well. He was either dropping him off outside of the gates and he has to walk.
Yeah.
He is going to get in. He's going to get into a fight. He's going to get in a scuffle with a walker on the way there.
And
I'm going to switch it to Travis.
we already know he doesn't want to kill any of them.
Yeah.
No matter
I
what.
thought Travis already made it home from that walk.
No. They just got in the Jeep and drove. That's the last thing
And then
we
they
saw.
went back.
He was close to home at the end of the episode, but he wasn't actually home.
Right.
No.
Was he really close?
Well, he was in the Humvee. And
He
so,
said they were going to drop him off for what, like 5 miles or
No,
something like
half
that?
mile. We'll get you a half
mile.
mile. That's a long way to go in a zombie wasteland.
Yes.
So, I think Travis is the one. And now, whether it happens this season or not, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I think they keep him alive until the next season. But
Maybe.
I think we're going to see even more bitchness from him, and then setting it up for him to die the next
Yeah, I
season.
really hope we don't end on a big cliffhanger for this.
Oh,
It's,
the zombie on
it's,
top of
it's the
Travis.
first season. It's going to be a huge
But at least like
cliffhanger
wrap it
one
up
way or
a
another.
little bit. Like even in the prison, at the end of the prison, when the governor attacks, everyone kind of scatters.
Right.
And then at the beginning of the next season, they all kind of find each other,
Right.
and then go from there.
But the scattering is an ending, because it's
Yeah.
like, we're not in the prison. That's
Yeah.
where we're going from now. So, what about you?
Right now, I'm thinking it might end up being the daughter still. Right
Okay.
now.
Still with the daughter.
I'm thinking it's going to be the daughter. Not necessarily by the end of this season, but first or second episode next season.
So you're saying that nobody dies the rest of the season?
No, unless there's a CDC moment
Right, yeah.
at the end of this season.
Right.
No.
Well, that would be my one exception would be that if Daniel ends up sacrificing himself
Well,
in a CDC type moment.
But we already heard the girl at the hospital
Yeah.
said, no matter how you die, you come back.
that is something I noticed. They already know that off the bat.
Yep.
Right.
One of the funny things I just thought of is Daniel opens the doors, down steps, breaks ankle, dies.
Trips on the way down the stairs. Whoops.
I mean, what? He's like in the 60s at least.
Well, yeah.
So
But I would hope that they don't end him that way. But I think, though, that's the big difference between finding the CDC. I mean, the hospital is like the CDC. Like, we learn that that it's already in you.
Mhm.
Clearly, they already knew that.
Yeah.
That was part of it. So, anybody have a changing of opinion? First to die.
I still hope it's Nick's bitch.
We all hope that at the end of the day.
Here's the thing. Nick hooking up with the insurance guy, guaranteed he survives.
But here's
that is the guy to be with.
Here's my thing. If we were on this world and we knew no matter how you
I
died,
thought
you
Nick
were going to
was a
become a
distraction.
zombie.
I know people would
That is not
sacrifice
it.
me.
What?
No,
I thought Nick was the distraction so
No,
that
no.
the insurance guy could get away.
Nick, he was looking for people to help him get out. Now, if he tries to use
What-
him as a
yeah.
distraction, maybe.
He already.
What's
he
the master
said.
plan? Yeah.
He said
He
he
said
was
it.
going to use him as
He
a
said, I
distraction
need you
so
as
he
a
could get
distraction so I can get out.
out. And he
Well,
says
it was
get
like
out
it was
with
Nate
what? And once
Ford
he says
as
get out
the
with what, he's got the
salesman.
key.
Well, but here's the thing, though. That is setting it up for him, the salesman making a dumb move, and Nick getting out, and him not getting out.
And Nick's also running a fever. Granted, it's from the
It's
withdrawal.
like Otis and Shane.
Yes.
Otis and Shane. Shane's
Yeah.
like, bye.
Yeah.
Deuces.
But
See, that's the thing. He's going through withdrawals, and they're automatically assuming that he's sick and he's starting to turn.
but he bought his freedom was bought by a pair of diamond cufflinks.
But he also said if he turns, it's your
But
ass.
we know he's not going to turn. He's just going through withdrawal. That's the whole thing.
They don't know that though.
This is
They don't.
They don't know and they don't care because they're
They
trying to
don't-
bounce.
Yep.
They
He's-
want to bounce. They don't give a shit.
I don't care what you say. I still hope Nick's bitch ass dies. Okay?
It sounds like you think he will.
I do.
It's
He
just a
fucking
hope.
dies.
I hope he dies too, but the fact is, it showed a point. It comes about possession, not
Yeah.
necessarily paper money.
Yeah.
But something fucking
Something
shiny.
He said he already
I'll
said
trade you 6 goats for your freedom.
the salesman already said it's going back to the old ways, the barter system.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's
So-
gonna hit the fallout point where
Which
it's
it's
about
not
something
going to
like
matter
fucking bottle
eventually
caps.
later on because obviously because we watch The Walking Dead, we know what
Right.
it turns into.
Mhm.
So I mean, and that's the whole thing.
They're
It's-
still
it's
hoping
getting
that
there.
it'll.
Well,
Get him somewhere for now.
it's just too early for them to tell.
Yeah.
And they gonna pay the ultimate price.
So you're hoping for Nick.
Yeah.
I will
Correct.
always hope for Nick.
Me too.
Alright, so we got Alicia, Nick,
Okay.
Travis.
Who you got?
I'm still rooting for the brother and sister to get it on.
Okay, well.
No, Jack. Just
They're gonna have
We're
sex and they're gonna
for-
both die of heart
Who's your
attacks and
first
eat
to
each
die?
other.
Who's your first to
Who's
die?
my first to die? Daniel.
Daniel.
Dad.
Okay.
No, I'm still with Travis.
Yep.
I'm Travis.
Travis?
Travis.
So I got one sister, Nick,
Daniel.
Daniel,
Travis.
and Travis.
Obviously, majority wins here.
It's gonna be Travis.
Yeah.
We might find out next
Two
week.
smart
You
guys
don't
in there.
know.
We may find out next week, so make sure that you tune in next week. Make sure you check out DirtyShowUnderground.com so you can get all the latest podcasts and videos. New episodes every Thursday, and our Fear the Walking Dead episodes every Tuesday.
Bonus episode.
Bonus episode every Tuesday. Where can people find you online?
Uncommon gaming streams and Uncommon GS and on Twitter and Instagram.
And you can find me on all your social networks at Robert N. Cheek. Make sure you check out robertncheek.com for my books, my political blog, and a Dead Drop, which will be back live today, as you're listening to this.
Rob's books.
There it is.
I know.
Hey, you know
And-
it's gonna happen in another 45 minutes from the
Probably.
other
I'll do it
podcast.
again.
So
Wait, and
for the one
make
person
sure-
listening right now, I'm sorry, but I
Go
gotta
ahead.
interrupt. For the one person listening right now,
Buy Rob's books.
we're about to do another podcast. Stay tuned, and then you'll see
Same thing
they ain't
again.
doing it now, and then we'll talk about the books and.
We're all going to
and
switch
get-
clothes.
Make sure you
And
check
then,
out otheanthem.com
Yes.
and new episodes of Oh the Anthem podcast every Tuesday with Spotlight every Friday. Where can people find you online?
Dirty Short UG on Twitter and Facebook.
And
Banging.
do anybody want to share their social networking?
No.
Negative.
All right, so
Negatory.
so make sure you check out the new episode of this podcast on Thursday. It'll be live sometime during the day on Thursday. Make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube so you can check us out there. Make sure you go on iTunes, rate and review. Let us know what you like and what you don't like so we can give you everything that you want.
And there's a lot coming.
Any way you want it.
Because we got entertainment coming from every direction at this point.
Whole bunch of stuff.
Tonight we were about to triple cast
Mm-hmm.
if
Oh,
we
we gotta
needed
do
to. So, and Thursday we got a wrestling cast coming for anybody that's a wrestling fan.
On the live stream, but not the episode.
Yeah.
The episode will
There
be
you go.
different. So just make sure you can always watch live and answer and get your questions in and answered, or look for new episodes on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yes, sir.
All right. So thank you everybody for listening. Like I said, make sure you like and subscribe so you get all the new episodes.
And stay tuned in the next 20 minutes. We'll be coming back.
Take a great week.
Deuces. Girl.
Cheers.
Don't touch my fucking